Everybody, welcome back to JMV Rock County. I'm Jay, and these what? There she is. She's in the bed playing a game. She's a game player. She likes to play games. Anyways, uh, so there's a lot of you that are going to be here. That probably most of you that are here were on my live that I just actually just finished. Well, I finished it before Julie and Brian went live. Cheryl's live right now, but I got to get this video put out. You know, this is going to be, you're watching it now. It's Wednesday. It's my Wednesday premiere. So after my live, but before Julie and Brian went live, I went ahead and cut some more of the Botswanas and another Kentucky and whatever. So I'm going to show not only the stuff that I cut on the live, because it'll show it better. You know, when you're on those lives, you can't see the stuff that well. So I'm going to show the stuff that I cut on the live and after the live. So I'm going to get this turned around and start showing this stuff. Get scooted up. So I purposely didn't put this stuff away from the giveaways. I want to show this stuff also real quick. So this was the one that, who was it? Miller Outdoors one. I don't want to wet that paper, so I'll spray it off the paper. Let me go ahead and zoom in. Like I was trying to show you guys, those centers have great banding. You know, this was the very first thing I give away from the live. First one we cut. And that wasn't necessarily planned, but, you know. I wanted to, you know, do these giveaways like this. And I've said this before. You know, once I get my 1,000 subscribers, and I do that big giveaway for that, I'm going to start doing more of these pop-up giveaways like this, because that way it's more people that are constantly there supporting us that are getting the giveaways, instead of people that are just popping in because they see the title that says giveaway, you know. But yeah, this was a really good agate. That's going to be, whether you face polish it or you could try to cab either side, I guess. Had that little window right there. I avoided it, and it turned out really nice. So that one was the one for Miller Outdoors. This was the one that Boot won but gifted to Cheryl, and this was definitely one I wanted to show up close, because look at this. You could not see that on the live. The quality of the picture is not near as good as when I put this on 4K 60 frames per second. So if you're watching this, make sure to put your if you can watch it with good Wi-Fi or something, you know, go to the settings and change your resolution that you're watching it, because if you watch it with the, you know, the availability should be 4K, or at the very least 1080p, because I mean, that is a gorgeous Mexican coconut. So yeah, boot one, but he gifted it to Cheryl, so Cheryl gets that. And then this was the one from the premiere the other day. I'll just go ahead and show it again. I've showed it already, but this is the one I decided to give away from the Arizona stuff that Jim Cabs Michael gave me. And you could actually cut both of these in half, make little cabs for earrings, matching earrings. That'd be cool. And Sandmaker, aka Randy, is who won that one. And then this one was Les Be Rockin'. This is a really pretty one that I know you couldn't see good. And it still, even here, does not show the color very well. But there's pinks, kind of purplish looking to it. And look how detailed that banding is in that thing. It's got gray banding. There's a little bit of a quartz pocket in there, but it just adds that flame look. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty agate. And that thing is plenty big enough where you could cut a slab off each side, at least one slab, and then make pendants out of it. I would just face polish this one and have that as a nice display. So there's the giveaways. And then pretty much cut these Arizona agates all on the live, but like I said, you know, can't see them good. This one was pretty good. A little water line. Yeah, that one was a pretty good one. It had a big window there, a little window there, and I cut right through the middle of the windows. Still had quartz, but you know, hey, it's still pretty. And then here's another one that looks almost just like that other giveaway, but there's a lot more quartz in this one. But there's nice banding around the edges of it, but there's a lot more quartz. But you can see there's a floater in there. Just didn't get to it quite. And then this right here was really wild. I want to spray it again. It's just soaking up water. So, I mean, it looked like it was pretty much chalcedony rich. I mean, it's got this nice body pocket on this side. You know, I wanted to cut on the other side of that, and it had almost like a little bit of a pocket on this side too. You know, right there's a little window. So you could probably cut this again and get something else out of it, but I mean, it's got good moss, and it's got nice little chalcedony fortification pockets all through that moss. And it doesn't look too awfully pitty, so I think it would take a good polish. If Michael, if you watch this, let me know. I'm sure you've probably cut some that look like this or pretty similar. See if they take a good polish or not. But there again, plenty thick enough you could probably cut that, and I mean, there's no problem. You could easily cut that and make a couple pendants out of it. And this right here, I think that's a healed fracture because I can't feel it. So At least it's a healed fracture. It's a fracture, but it's, filled back in with chalcedony or something. I don't know. Maybe there is a little bit of a fracture there. You can see the indent. But that one was really pretty. The thing is with these, if I can get close enough, see the little platelets all through it. Really cool. A lot of his material is like that I see him cut. But I think that, I don't know. I think that will polish up good. I don't know. Guess I'll find out. So that was, I guess that was all. No, I cut one more Arizonas, but it was all pretty much all quartz. A little bit of just solid white chalcedony on the outside edge of it. Yeah, I don't think there was any more. Let's see, no, there was this one, I think. That was a geode. I didn't clean it out. But it, there's no a little bit of a crystal piece right there. I don't know. But yeah, it was like, well, can't all be great. But anyway, so also from the live, I cut this one, or no, Vicky cut this one. This one was really cool. Nice pinks in it. I think it was like this. Had a big face over here. And a face over here. So I had her cut it right between. Yeah, that's nice. It's really nice. Because it almost looks like the face. It's not a full face or something. But yeah, I mean, it's a full face. There's no other windows there that it got cut through, so it's a really nice one. This is one Vicky claimed for herself. She really likes this one. Got the yin yang sides. I see you. This one would be cool to like use his eyes on something, put it on something. That's a really pretty one. So yeah, Vicky has claimed that one. And then I have to spray this one again. I cut this one in like little slabs of it because there was a big face right here, right? And there was a kind of a face and a little pocket that went in right there. So I didn't want to, mess up on either side of that. I didn't want to cut through here. So I cut right behind that face right there. And there's not really any real distinct banding, but it's pretty cool. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. So let's cut a slab out of that. So when you look at it like that, you can see banding. But it's so faint looking at it, when it's more solid behind it that you can't see it. But, when you get that light coming through, you can definitely see some bands. So that one that little slab right there would make a nice little pendant. I cut that pretty straight, didn't I? A little bit of quartz pocket there, and it don't go through. So which side would be your preference to have as a face? The side without the quartz or the side with the little quartz pocket? Like a ghost flame. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And then I think this was one of the next ones I cut because there's another one I forgot that Vicki cut. This one was pretty cool because it had those yellow eyes in it. I don't know what that yellow material is. But it's got gray banding. And then those weird, wacky yellow eyes. I don't know if that's calcite or not, but I wouldn't want to try to melt that out because that would be weird. Have two big yellow or blank spaces there. Look the way you can see that banding through that yellow. And there's texture inside that yellow pocket there on the left especially. It's pretty cool. I might have to use that as a thumbnail. It's kind of cool. I don't know. I'll probably use that one Vicki liked so much. So you didn't see this one on the live. There's fractures, but I mean you can't all have fracture free on agates a lot of times. But that's still pretty, and I think it'll still polish. I don't feel, maybe I would want to stabilize this one before I try to polish it, just to make sure it didn't come apart. But yeah, that's pretty. Another kind of yin yang deal going on there. But yeah, you could tell from the outside it was just, there's fractures running all over the place on this, so there's no real good way to cut this one. So I just said heck with it. I wasn't going to just try to tumble it just like it was, got to get inside to see the banding. So I will get to the point where someday I will be able to stabilize. I'll get me one of those pressure cooker stabilizer thingamajiggers. And that one was pretty cool. Big window on this side. That's why you can see through it so well. So, and then I had that big spot right there. So I thought, well, let's cut the piece off there to make a cab and then have a specimen. But then it had this weird green mossy part. So it's kind of pity. So I don't know how well that'll polish, but it's kind of neat. I had that tube, like a tube or something like that, cut through. I left a little bit of a lip there. I should have ground that off. Kind of broke out. Here's another one that I know that Vicki did cut. It's pretty cool. It's almost like a eyeball with a little weird smile and the little white nose. This side's got little eyes going all around the edge. Guess this side does too, but they're kind of chipped out a little bit. But those lines right there and that kind of smile is all they're pink and white. Yeah, that was a pretty cool one. A little one. There's a lot I see that look a lot like this right here. There's good banding and everything, but there's a pretty good quartz pocket to it. But that would still cut a slab off each side of that and still could make a nice pendant. I don't think this would be one I'd want to do a, look how white those two lines right there are. It almost glows. Yeah, I don't know with this one with the quartz like that if I'd want them just face polish those and leave them as specimens, or if it'd be better to cut slabs and make pendants. You could still have specimens left over. Take a matching pendants off each side. I think Vicky cut this one too, because I remember all these white parts. Those little white dots all over it. Yeah, that one was pretty wild. Look down deep inside there. You can see them floating all through that where I didn't cut through them. There's so much depth in that one. Actually, you can see them over on this side too. It's pretty cool. Oh. And this one, I know you didn't see this one. And it's not coming across well, but that's purple in these areas right here. And that's all chalcedony, so I don't think it's amethyst. It's just, it's pretty cool. I like this one, even with that quartz going around. It was pretty cool. And that pretty thick, so you could definitely take your slab off each side of that if you wanted. Yep. Pretty cool. And here's another one with quartz at the bottom and bands on top. I've cut a lot of these Botswanas, and there's a lot of them that's like this. I don't know how they form. The quartz is usually at one end like that a lot of times. But, they're still really pretty. This is more the ones that I don't care for when there's so much quartz, because that's so round. It is kind of cool. Got nice banding on top of it. Actually, there's a little bit of a cavity there, so it's almost a little geode. See some points and stuff in it. And that's pretty quartz, the way that's, you can see down in there, it's pretty clear. It's a little bit thin on this one, so especially on this side. So I think that would just be a good face polish one. Even with the quartz, you could probably cut a slab off this side if you really wanted to. This one was another really pretty one that you just didn't see. A little bit of quartz down here in the bottom, but that's a nice one. And then this one was just kind of wild. There's a lot of quartz in it, but the pattern in the banding up there on top is kind of weird. And oh yeah, Vicky cut this one too, because I remember that looked like calcite. And I'll hit this with the UV here in a minute, and I'm sure that's going to say, that's going to glow either like a red or orange, or no, red or like a pink or something like that probably. I'm sure that that's probably calcite. But you know, this down here is quartz. So, and I was very disappointed. Let me spray them again. Probably not spray them again even. Oh wait, I gotta show you this one. So this thing, I cut this thing in like 4 different pieces here. Let me see how it went together. This was over here. This was the end piece, I think. Like, something like this. But this was in the bag with the Botswanas. I got these from Robin Vernon. That's not Botswana. Pretty sure that's Montana. So it had already been cut, and somehow it ended up in one of the bags of the lots I got of what was supposed to be all Botswana. Yeah, but that's either Montana or could be Saurus agate. I guess it could be India Blackskin too, because India Blackskin looks a lot like Montana's. I'm going with Montana, but and I could still cut this still in half again. And I started to cut this. This one kind of messed up because I don't know what happened, but when I started cutting it, the blade deflected pretty good, and I could not continue the cut. But I could always grind that down. So then I went ahead and went behind it, because you know, see how that's angled down. I was trying to get a straight cut based off this side, but and I thought I would cut, you know, because it was so thin this way, I thought I was going to cut me a couple slabs of that, because maybe Mo would be interested in a couple thin little slabs like that. So, you know, there's that. And then the Kentuckys. Now I'm going to have to spray them down again. Yeah, these two here look almost identical. I mean, there's some pretty wild eyes in them. Moss. But you know, when you're talking about Kentucky agate, yeah, this is not what you're looking for. You know what I mean? So yeah, I still got 2 more to cut there, but I cut both these. I don't remember if I cut both these on the live or this one's just, it's just so pitted and grungy. I mean, there's areas with those eyes in them. It's kind of cool. Pretty cool colors. But there ain't nothing you can do with this. Can't polish this. It's too, there's no way that's going to polish. And you can't, there ain't no spot to get a cab from. So, yeah. So then this was the one I was going to cut that I thought would be too big to cut this way, you know. And I end up switching to that smaller one. Yeah, I wish I went ahead and cut it that way. I mean, it busted out, you know, because these things can be so fractured. But look at that. There's red and black. And some yellow. So, I probably shouldn't have cut it the way I did, but oh well, it's done. I done doed it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and continue to slab this up. I'll use the saw fence and I will slab both these up, and or at least get a couple slabs off of it, and hopefully I'll get some cabin material out of that and see what might be on in here. You know, broke out pretty good. And then this one is the better one, but some of the Kentucky, what I call Kentucky stuff. Let me wet that. And there was a big window there showing. Now I think that blue is more of a Tyndall blue effect. Like if you guys watch Theo Kellison, he talks about the Montana agates having that Tyndall blue effect. But I know I've seen, and I've said this so many times, you know, Kentucky Rockhound Michael Trabuzio, he's cut some of this stuff and made pennants out of it, and it makes pretty cabs. Makes cabs out of it. I don't know if he's made pendants, but. And then this piece here, you know, it had a nice window to it. And I've got a lot left there I can make some slabs out of, but let me get it wet. This one's going to be pretty to cab up. And I bet you anywhere where you see that pink is going to be purple. I think that pink is feldspar. If it's not, I don't know, because I've hit this stuff before, and it glows purple. And I guess we'll find out whenever I turn the lights off here in a minute. But I bet you there's going to be some purple in places. I could be wrong, but other ones I've cut and stuff have had purple in it. Some black flecks in there. I don't know what that could be. Maybe some hematite, or I don't know. This material just fascinates me. It really does. And I've got a bunch of it out there in the yard. And I think I've got a bucket in here with a bunch of it. Let me put this one down here. All right, so that was all I was going to show. I'm going to go ahead and get the lights turned off. And I should go get the beast, but again, we're going to have a lone fire day. It's still a good light. Lone Fire SV83. Still a good light. Alright. You know, I mean, some of these Arizona agates, you know, I showed them pretty good before I cut them. And this was one of them that had a crazy colorations. Oop. Through it. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That's that mossy one. Several of those Arizona agates had some pretty wild inclusion. You know, whatever that stuff is in there that's making it glow. I mean, I don't know if that might be calcite, some kind of calcite vein or something. I don't know. They're pretty cool. Like, okay, here's one that's not cut. You know. Excuse me. Okay, I got to show this Kentucky stuff. See? Look at that purple. I gotta learn more about this material, because it is wild to me. That is just wild. I know that's got to come across on camera. Here's the Montana, or what I suspect is Montana. Kind of goes white. The Mexican coconut, I showed that on the live, but the lights were on so you couldn't see it that well. But that was so green that you can definitely see it. And this is in case, you know, anybody's watching that, you know, that one shows kind of pink. Pretty cool. That's the Arizona one that I'm giving away. But the Botswanas don't show much of anything. Yeah. And while I'm looking at the ones that's over here, oh yeah, here's that one that Vicky cut. It's definitely calcite. Turned it the wrong way. Yeah, it's definitely calcite, and that's probably gonna phosphorus red. I need to charge it a little bit better. Yeah, a little bit of afterglow. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely calcite. Those weird Kentuckies don't, they got a little bit of white stuff showing. This one that's got this one's pretty cool. You see some green and orange. Yeah, I should have cut this one the other way. God, I ought to kick my own butt for that. Definitely some green. Green, orange. Yeah, I should have cut this one the other way. Is this other piece of Kentucky stuff? Yep. Purple right in the middle on this one. And the other half. Somebody suggested it could be fluoride of some sorts, I guess, but I don't know. That red there's probably surface. This material is just so wild. Yeah, I don't see much else to show. Okay, let me get this turned back on. Okay, yeah, I pulled this one out of the bag and I wasn't going to cut this. I'll tumble this one. And the rock says, I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you. Anyways. Okay, hold on a minute. Alright, so let me know what you think about this stuff. Yeah, some of those Botswana that I still got. I probably got more than 10 pounds worth still easily of those Botswanas to cut. I didn't cut very many of them actually. So can't just go through and cut everything. I want to. I just ain't got enough time in the day. Yeah, we spent so much of the day with no power, so yeah. Oh, yeah, it just sucked. So anyways, let me know what you think about the stuff. Which one of those Botswanas was your favorite? And I'm sure it's probably going to be this one. The one that Vicky liked. Either, I don't know. There's a couple of those that are really nice. A couple of those Arizonas were really nice. But I'm more interested. Tell me what you think about that Kentucky stuff. I mean, I need to do some specific gravity tests. I need to do some hardness tests. But I'm telling you, that stuff like is mostly, I think, chalcedony. And it's very hard. I mean, when you're cutting through it, it's hard to cut through. I think a lot of that has to do with how jagged the exterior is. But, I mean, it takes a really high polish from not from personal experience, but from seeing what, Mike did with it. And, I mean, the pieces that I've sent to other people, I don't know if I've seen Karen work at any. Can't remember. I think she did, but she was supposed to send me I think she said she was going to send me a pendant out of it or a cab or something. But I know Allison sent me a cab or made a pendant, wrapped it or something. I can't remember. It's in one of these boxes. Boot, I bought one and I wear the one he gave me of some of it that I bought. But the ones that they both had, it was more the exterior ground through, and then because a lot of it gets those eyes kind of like I mean, these were not from that spot, but these are like with those eyes and stuff. That's how a lot of that Kentucky stuff can look. It can get those eyes and stuff like that. And I was trying to think if I had a good example, because it can be real body on the outside. If you watched the Truck Count Chronicle video where I cracked all them geodes, I showed you that one piece, and it was so body on the outside in that one spot, it looked like grape agate or something, you know. But I can't wait to get a good big slab saw, because I've got some big chunks of that, and I think that it'll really cut well. It'll get some good slabs. And the reason why I say that is because, okay, you see this one, you know, this was plenty small enough for me to cut on my saw, but it's really hard to manually cut this stuff. So, and a lot of it, what I want to do, see, I cut behind this window, you know, like that. But what I want to do is cut it, because a lot of them are shaped kind of like this and weirdly shaped. And I want to cut, like, shave this exterior off and cut through on both sides, kind of, and just get a solid chunk of the chalcedony part, which I can almost do that with this, you know. I could trim that outside off and be left with nothing but the chalcedony. And this is almost, I mean, it's solid, you know, and it's heavy. So I bet you I've got like at least 5 or 6 or more 5-gallon buckets worth of that stuff. And I've got some big chunks of it. Some really big chunks. Way too big for me to even think about fooling with on my saw. So, it's just got me puzzled in what it is, especially when you look at it with the UV and you see that purple. It fascinates me. I got to know more about it. You know, I'm always going to like the banded stuff better, but it's something I can find. It's something that I have readily accessible, and I have a lot of it. I have brought home and collected a lot of it, and probably don't need as much as I've got. That's why I've given a lot of it away. I've given a lot of chunks away. I've give Ken G a fair amount, actually. Some smaller pieces. He would have loved to have had this one right here, I bet you. He could have cut that on his style saw. But I found this after last time I met him. But I was going to keep that in the truck, and I've got some other chunks in the truck. So if I go back down there and ever meet up, he probably don't want no more of it. Anyways, God, I just ramble. Thanks for watching, guys. And let me know what you think. Ready?
What?
We'll talk to you later. I'm Jay.
I'm B.
Bye, guys.